Welcome to today's explainer. We're jumping straight into a massive, foundational shift in how the global economy actually operates, the generative AI workflow revolution. Seriously, this is huge. To really understand what's happening on the ground, we're going to use a fascinating case study, Rasta Infotech. Their incredibly rapid adoption of AI is the perfect lens to see how this whole thing is rewiring daily operations. $4.4 trillion. That's trillion with a T. That is McKinsey's estimate of generative AI's annual value potential globally. Let that sink in for a second. We're not just talking about a neat software update or some passing tech trend. No way. This is an entirely new economic engine. It's a foundational shift that's poised to literally inject trillions into the global economy every single year, all by completely revolutionizing human productivity. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the global Gen AI boom. Second, we'll enter Rasta Infotech. Third, transforming daily workflows. Fourth, navigating the AI risks. And finally, survival in the AI era. All right, Section 1, the global Gen AI boom. So before we zoom in on Rasta Infotech specifically, we really have to grasp the mechanics behind this massive global boom. It all boils down to one thing: automation at scale. Just think about the sheer volume of repetitive tasks happening in offices everywhere, every single day. We're talking about routing initial customer support tickets, drafting boilerplate code, compiling those routine financial reports. Well, Gen AI steps in and automates these processes massively. And the result's absolutely crucial. You get dramatically reduced operational costs and significantly accelerated timelines. Businesses are just doing things faster and cheaper than ever before. Section 2. Enter Rasta Infotech. To really see this global boom in action, Rasta Infotech is just a perfect example. According to Gartner, 60% of the enterprises globally are currently piloting Gen AI solutions, and this brilliantly illustrates how Rasta Infotech's incredibly rapid adoption speed aligns perfectly with that global trend. They aren't just waiting on the sidelines to see what happens, they're actively pushing Gen AI pilots to find out exactly where this tech can immediately add value. But it gets even better, because Rasta Infotech operates in India's booming ecosystem, which is even more aggressive. Amazingly, a full 2/3 of Indian enterprises already have AI running in actual live production workflows. They aren't just experimenting in a sandbox, they're deploying it for real. So Rasta Infotech is drawing from and contributing to this hyper-competitive, fast-moving ecosystem where AI adoption isn't just the future, it's already the norm. And this rapid deployment is heavily concentrated in specific tech innovation hubs, like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and the NCR. And they aren't just building your basic chatbots here. No, they are doing the complex stuff, accelerating the entire lifecycle of software code, optimizing massive global supply chains, and building what we call agentic workflows. That's where AI agents actually execute complex, multi-step tasks all on their own. It's a real game changer. Moving on to Section 3. Transforming daily workflows. Now, you might be wondering, how does this actually impact the day-to-day? Because one of the biggest fears out there, right, is total job elimination. But for fast-moving companies like Rasta Infotech, it's actually about workforce transformation. It's a direct shift from routine to strategic work. By handing off all those mundane, repetitive tasks to Gen AI, human employees are suddenly freed up. Instead of mind-numbing data entry, they get to focus on high-level strategic planning, complex problem-solving, and real creative work. So it's really about elevating human potential, rather than erasing it. Now, what's really interesting is how broadly this applies across completely different sectors. Look at banking, for instance. They're using it for fraud detection and automated compliance, which leads to much faster risk management. Down in e-commerce, it's driving highly personalized shopping and dynamic pricing to boost conversion rates. In healthcare, we're seeing AI-driven diagnostics actually improving accuracy and efficiency. Across the whole board, from software development accelerating code generation, all the way to marketing seeing increased ROI from campaign optimization, Gen AI is fundamentally changing the core workflow of how these industries deliver value. Tying all this vast industry data back to Rasta Infotech, we see a very clear 3-step strategic shift that honestly any enterprise can learn from. First, they adopt Gen AI rapidly, simply to match the incredible speed of the market. Second, they purposefully redirect their resources toward automation and efficiency. This actually perfectly echoes recent EY survey insights on corporate priorities. And third, they use these new AI capabilities to deliver highly personalized customer experiences. Why? Because that directly boosts customer retention and satisfaction. let's move to and see how this builds into Section 4, Navigating the AI Risks. Now, it's absolutely vital to understand that this transformation is not totally friction-free. Even agile companies like Rasta Infotech face very real hurdles. The two most immediate challenges they have to navigate are right here. First is data privacy. Feeding massive amounts of corporate and customer information into Gen AI requires completely airtight compliance with strict data protection laws. You can't mess around with that. The second is bias in AI models. See, because these models learn from existing data, any historical biases in that training data can accidentally pop up in the AI's output. So it requires really rigorous ethical oversight to ensure these automated decisions stay accurate and fair. But you know what? Perhaps the biggest operational risk isn't actually the technology itself. It's the people running it. We are seeing a massive critical skill gap right now. The AI technology is ready to go, but the surging demand for specialized AI talent is creating a severe bottleneck for enterprises. Companies simply cannot find enough qualified humans to securely and effectively build and manage these Gen AI workflows. And that talent bottleneck translates directly into a stark financial reality. Right now, specialized AI talent in India commands a massive 30 to 40% salary premium over standard non-AI IT roles. Kind of makes you wish you'd studied machine learning, right? But what this means is that embracing Gen AI isn't just a technology investment. It requires a massive, highly competitive investment in specialized human capital just to get a seat at the table. Finally, let's zoom back out for Section 5, Survival in the AI Era. So, the crucial point we're arriving at is summarized perfectly in this thought. Gen AI is essential for survival, not just growth. Adopting generative AI, overcoming those compliance risks, and completely transforming your workflows, that's no longer just some fancy strategy to get ahead. As Rasta Infotech has proven by moving so aggressively, integrating Gen AI is now an absolute mandate for basic corporate survival. Which leaves us with this final, really important question to take away from today's explainer. Look at your own organization, your own workflow, your own daily tasks. The technology is here, and the transition is actively happening all around us. So is your company acting now to secure its survival in this new AI era, or are you waiting around risking being permanently left behind? Take some time to really think about that. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.